the cleansing in the covenant, the holiness in the covenant, and the fearlessness, boldness, and courage for the people that receive the covenant. He is mindful of the covenant he has made with us. And now he says in verse 15, be ye mindful always of his covenant, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. What if we are not mindful of those covenants? What if we despise those promises? What if we say, that's too high, that's too great, that's too deep? It looks impossible for that to happen. That leads me to point number 2, the consequence of not believing God's great promises. The consequence of not believing God's great promises. In Psalm 78, reading from verse 21, Psalm 78, verse 21. Therefore the Lord had this, and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel. Why? Because they believed not in God. His wrath came, his anger was poured out on them, and then they were destroyed. Why? Because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation. The salvation was too full. The salvation was too great. And the consequence of that salvation, it was too pure. And they felt, how can that be? We have been in the habit of doing this and living like this and living like that. And now the Lord is saying, I'm going to do something that will reverse the whole trend of the life of the children of Israel. And he said, can I believe that? And because they didn't trust in God, and because they didn't believe in those great things the salvation of the Lord will bring, because of that unbelief, the wrath came upon them. Numbers chapter 14. In Numbers chapter 14, I'm reading from verse 11. And you know, when you hear some great promises of God, you'll be holy, you'll be cleansed, a stony heart will be taken away, a heart of flesh will be given unto you. Your life will be totally, radically different from what it was. And then you say, how can that be? That's unbelief. And God is angry at unbelief. In Numbers chapter 14, I'm reading from verse 11. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will these people provoke me? How long will it be ere they believe me? Before they believe me, for all the signs which I have showed among them, I will smite them with pestilence and disinherit them. You see the cost of unbelief? I'll smite them. I will disinherit them. I will throw them away. I will separate them from myself. I will not count myself as their God, and they will not be my people anymore because of unbelief. Because God said, I'm going to do this great thing. Totally different, radically different from what you have been, from where you have been. And then the people said, how will God be able to do that? And God said, Moses, go and tell them that unbelief separates them from me. The great cost and the great consequence of not believing God's great promises. We're looking at that same chapter, verse 36. In verse 36, and the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation murmur against him. Look up here. You know, there are people that you don't understand. When you haven't belief in your heart, and you pass that unbelief to other people, your judgment will be great and sweet. It will come fast and quick. These spies went to the land of promise, a land flowing with milk and honey, 12 of them. And then they came back, and there were 10 of those spies that spoke out. They thought they were bold. Sometimes your boldness can land you, even in hell. They thought they were courageous. And they thought, we don't care what Moses thinks. We're going to tell the people what we saw. We saw the sons of the Anakims there. And those people are giants. And we are just like grasshoppers. We cannot get into the land. All those big promises the Lord has given us, and taking to a land flowing with milk and honey, it's impossible. And the children of Israel began to murmur, and God said, all those who influenced others to disbelieve me, all those who influenced others to say, you think we can make it? We're gone, we're destroyed, we cannot make it. All that Moses is in the wilderness here telling, he has not been there, we were there. We have been here for a long time. This sanctification is impossible. And this holiness is impossible. Where did you come? To this church. I came at this particular time. And this man has been preaching this sin for how long now? All these many years, more than 30 years. Show me. Are you holy? Am I holy? Is he holy? Is she holy? It's impossible. All those who influence others negatively against the great promises of God. And then they go around saying the Anakims are there, the giants are there, it's impossible, we cannot make it. They were the people that God first dealt with. It's a great consequence and a great cost of unbelief. Look at that verse 36 again. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up slander, a slander upon the land. Even those men that did bring the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which one of the men that went to search the land, laid still. Now, what was the difference in Joshua and Caleb? They were the people that silenced the slanderers, the people that brought the evil report, the people that said, God's promises are too good to be true. It's impossible. Caleb and Joshua said, don't talk like that. They are bread for us. If God be with us and with God in us, all things are possible. Those were the people that need to get into the land. For the people that doubted, the people that disbelieved, and the people that discouraged other people from moving on into the land of Canaan, they perished. Think about that. That's just, that's normal. All these people, they were waiting for the spies, and they were saying, we'll soon get to the land. We're going to the land of Canaan. We're going to possess. And then these 10 spies came and gave the evil report. And these people dropped their faith, their confidence in God. And then they turned back. They said, now our leaders have told us it's impossible. We're not going into the land again. And God said, all that congregation that disbelieved me, they are not going to get to the land. Will it be right? Will it be right? You think about it. Will it be right for God to allow the 10 people that poisoned their mind, that made them to die in the wilderness, will it be right to take those 10 people to the land of Canaan? Tell me. No. And now come to the application. If you hear the word of God,